Hello, 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 hello. Good day, everyone. We are beginning. Look at this. The wormhole has begun, in fact, earlier than we even expected. Earlier than we expected, snug mode. The wormhole has begun, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. Can you believe it? We're together again and it feels good. We've got a lot of work to do today. I'm going to need your help. What's up, Sarah Knight? Screaming Argonaut, D up. Kamerzy, MXA, Otos, Vini. We're all here. I've got some coffee cooking. Look, so this is what happened. You may or may not know. First of all, let me know if there are any problems here, okay? If I'm too loud or something. Let me know. Sometimes they say I'm too quiet on the podcast. I have to actually talk louder. That's odd because I always sound pretty loud to myself, but we'll see what happens. We've got work to do today. As you may or may not know, I lost a bet. I was on a pretty good run, actually, for a while. I was enjoying a lot of bets. The other night we had this punished bets. We settled 5 years of bets. You know, still a couple outstanding, but we settled a lot of bets in one evening. As most of you probably know, you probably saw it. But I was enjoying myself eating popcorn, red vines. The night was going very well. One of the reasons was because I didn't have many bets. I won a lot of bets, or I wasn't the loser on other bets. So I was sort of just enjoying the show, other than my scene presentation, which I was just happy to do. Before you know it, the tables are suddenly being turned. I know I have this tiebreaker outstanding with Huber, but I didn't know it was suddenly going to happen so fast. It was presented, though, the idea of Bowser's Big Blast, a showdown, one-on-one, Huber and I, to settle this tiebreaker, see who has to do a James Cameron presentation. I was okay with this, as most people would be. This is an exciting bet, 50-50 odds, boom, boom, win or lose, high stakes, Cameron presentation. You don't want to mess this thing up. And what's up, Jesse? Thanks for joining. You came at a good time. I'm kind of recapping what I've gone through in the last 24, 48 hours. Lost a bet. Where was I? Yeah, so the bet is placed before us all. We're excited to take the action, and out of nowhere, this is what makes me nervous now. The terms, as we're about to get into the action of the bet, suddenly the terms start sort of shifting and changing. We're saying, hey, can we get AI players in on Bowser's Big Blast? Should there be neutral, a third ally in here? A lot of things are changing. I'm sort of trying to keep up. Usually, if I'm in this situation, you're playing cards, something's happening, suddenly people are throwing watches on the table. You just go to sort of say, hey, hold on, what's happening here? Maybe I'll step out of this round, but I didn't. No excuses. I took the action, even though there were shifting terms, which I'd warn you against. I'd warn you all against. I took the action, 100%. Stand by my bet. Stand by the fact that I lost ultimately, and that brings us here today. I've got to make a James Cameron presentation. I wasn't intending to do this. I was intending on enjoying a lot of James Cameron presentations. Now I got to present one. Not only this, but within days, something like this, I would like a time, 6 months, a year, some time to prepare a proper kind of thing. But it's not going to happen. I got to have this thing ready by Tuesday, the allies are telling me, right? So the pressure's on now, and I said, you know what? Let's do this thing together. Let's collaborate with all of you out there today. Let's go into this James Cameron wormhole here. And try to figure out what my presentation is going to encompass, maybe throw around some ideas. Anything you pitch in here today, I may just take. So don't say anything if you're keeping this for your own, these concepts for your own James Cameron presentations. Make sure you only share things you're okay with me using, because I'm probably going to try to take a handful of these. I don't even know what I'm going to do yet at this point. I have no clue. James Cameron, we should say, we have a lot of fun with James Cameron, but I should say right off the top, this guy is a genius. He's a master filmmaker, a wonderful storyteller, a technical genius. Obviously, we all know these things, right? So we have a lot of fun with James Cameron, but he in fact has improved the movie industry in so many ways over the years. Boy, are we grateful to him, aren't we? Fantastic movies. I mean, Aliens. Can you imagine the world without aliens? Everyone is joining the party. Avatar launched the 3D industry. This was a good thing, okay? Look, 3D has come and gone over the decades. This was the third major rising of the 3D experience at the theater, and it lasted a decent amount of time, and now maybe it's waning, but look, he brought that back in our modern times in a way we never experienced before. So that was a good thing. There were some excellent movies that came out of that. Everyone's excited. So you can sort of help direct me towards anything you want that we can look at together. Or, you know, this is a picture I pulled up on IMDb. We have his filmography here we could look at. You can all direct me anywhere you want, throw around some ideas. We'll come up with some stuff. One idea I had that I really liked, in fact, maybe someone mentioned it in chat yesterday, but I saw it was a passing thing, make a presentation about Avatar 5. How funny would that be? That would be pretty sweet to just go out on a limb. The entire presentation is Avatar 5. Alex Stream asking, is it possible to have the presentation in 3D? Oh, you know what? I don't think I could get my 3DS fast enough. I have my 3DS at storage at a facility, and it's a decent distance from Los Angeles, so I won't be able to, and that's the only device I have at this point for capturing 3D. So other than doing it in the flesh before their eyes 3D, I mean, there will be that aspect of it, but it's a good question. It's a nice thought. That would have been sick. Film a movie on the 3DS. I mean, I suppose I could acquire one. Well, we've got to have one in the studio. That's an idea. I've got to get a word pad out so I can start jotting down some of the cool stuff people have actually told me to do. Now, who said that? Who the heck? Is it possible? Alex Stream. Alex Stream thought of the idea of a 3D movie presentation. And this will be, now are you seeing my notepad or not? This is what I'm trying to figure out here. No, you're just seeing Cameron's, okay, that's fine. Alex Stream 3D movie presentation on 3DS. I could film it on the 3DS and then pass it around to all the allies and they'd have to watch it, right? That would be a fun thing for everyone, I think. Something to consider. I'm going to say that's something to consider. All right, let me just try to read through some of these so I don't miss it. Let's get some true lies going. Ninja Kill Bunny, what is going on with this movie? Explain it to me. Explain to me why this has not been released on 4K. I don't even think it's come out on Blu-ray. Something's going on, and I'm not happy. Unbelievable set pieces. I mean, I've heard some mentions of why it could be, but I don't think there's really any true justification for not releasing this on modern formats. It's bizarre. Will I use the fog machine? You know what? I won't snug mode unless I use it on a separate camera. I mean, I could capture the fog machine and then do picture-in-picture for you, so you'd still be able to experience the fog machine, which I know might be a nice thing. But I would love to involve the fog machine. So you know what? I'm just going to jot it down, fog machine. Maybe we find a way to work it in. Maybe we find a way. You don't see my notes. Yeah, that's okay. I'll just keep, I'm telling you what I'm jotting down. So far I have Alex Stream, who asked about the fog machine, snug mode. These are my notes so far. Alex Stream, 3D movie presentation on 3DS. And snug mode, fog machine. That's what I have so far for the presentation idea. I'll also write Avatar 5 question mark because we were kind of bouncing that idea around, right? So look, now let me explain the rest of the title of the stream before we get started. As a backdrop, Cameron Wormhole, you and I, all of us are going to travel through and along and into this Cameron Wormhole. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. But it's a backdrop. This is like a romantic drama we're watching against the backdrop of a war, international war, something like that. So we can go other places. If you have a game trailer, you want me to watch something else going on in the world we need to know about and experience together, maybe we can take some tangents and just have Cameron Wormhole as a backdrop. We can stray, just to let you know. Okay, that's okay. So let me see. Cosplay as Na'vi for the presentation. I'd be nervous about that. The blue paint would make me very nervous. Elise has done some wonderful cosplay as Na'vi in some Funhouse videos from back in the day. I'm sure you've seen these. It was very impressive, and she committed to the makeup, which is not easy. I'd be nervous about the blue paint. Ninja Kill Bunny is saying, on the sidebar, it says that True Lies is in development for 2023. A new True Lies would be fabulous, I suppose. What are the chances of alien-controlled human avatars? Broshiro's asking. For the presentation, this would be tough to pull off in the amount of time. This is why I'd like 6 months or a year. Then we could start thinking of concepts like that. That's high concept of an alien-controlled human avatar at the presentation. Space Marine cosplay might be doable in short order. Yeah, I've got a Starship Trooper uniform that is authentic from the actual film. You probably saw me wear it for a few consecutive Halloweens. I think I wore it almost 7 or 8 Halloweens consecutively in my life. I really liked this costume for a while, but that thing's in storage too, so I wouldn't be able to access it quick enough. Okay, so this is his writer credits we're looking at. I shouldn't have left you there. He's got a lot of stuff as a writer, a producer, obviously. He's gone all over the place. But the director, as an absolute auteur, is what we're looking at, and I think we want to assign a set as the parameters for the presentation. Turok, the First Flight. What? Oh, Toruk, okay. I would have said this would have been a good pairing. Can you imagine James Cameron doing a Turok movie? Holy smokes, that would be excellent. I mean, that's all you'd have to say. If I was somebody and I knew someone, I'd have lunch and I'd say, James Cameron, Turok, and they'd hand me a briefcase full of cash probably. But I don't have those kind of connections, believe it or not. Not to make those kind of things happen in this city. Let me see. Let's see those actor credits. You want to see the actor? He has 8 actor credits. It's a good question. Where's the storage unit? It's not within the Los Angeles County, I'll tell you that, you know. Let's see here. So Rolex celebrates the art of storytelling. He played himself on Saturday Night Live back in 2010. Maybe, I don't know. Or he was credited? Yeah, not a lot of acting he's done. Piranha 2, The Spawning, he did way back in the day. So he directed Aliens. Yeah, all right, he directed Aliens, The Terminator. Look at that, only a couple movies before that. For some reason, I thought he had more. So this guy just came out swinging. Terminator, Aliens. I mean, they just said to give him some studio cash. Terminator 2. You've heard me rant about this. True Lies. So still amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. T2 3D Battle Across Time. Can we talk about this? This is a wonderful. He actually directed the short film. Battle Across Time is the 3D ride, I believe, isn't it? And he directed the actual film portion of that? Is that what happened? Dress up as an avatar, only having a small cloth covering you, and give a presentation that way. Again, Samosa. It's a nice idea, but the makeup is what I'd be very nervous. I'm not a fan of body paint. I like, you know, different kind of pageantry and costumes, but when you start to cover the entire body with paint, it just gets messy. You know, makes me very nervous about how my car is going to look by the time I get home when that stuff is just washing off me in a sweat. I've got a good 45-minute hour drive out of the studio. You got to understand, so I got to think about these things with this presentation as well. Look at this. I have Terminator 2 3D's final performance queued up inside Universal. This is a website you can check out if you like. They've got this. They posted this up on YouTube. This is the last ride. This thing got shut down. It was one of my absolute favorite things. Look at that. It got shut down way back in 2012, so it's been a while already. As a kid, I loved this thing, you know. It was absolutely stunning. And the 3D movie portion of this ride was actually a complete movie. And I don't think they've ever released this thing on home format. It drives me crazy. Because it would have been perfect when they remastered T2 3D as a bonus feature on the disc. The 3D version for the first time at home. You can enjoy the 3D film in this ride that you could never watch anywhere. And now you can't see. I mean, we could watch it on YouTube here. We can jump forward, you know. There's a whole show they put into this. She's great. You know, we got the whole... Oh, no, we got ads going. Are you kidding me? Well, we got an ad going, so we're going to switch out of it while the ad runs. But it got terminated. You're absolutely right, Missile Mage. And it would have been a great opportunity. Could have Jack fit in the door in Titanic. Trying to see if there's any other... dang it. More ads playing. There's a lot of ads, huh? Okay. We'll try to jump forward to the... this is the exciting part where the movie portion starts. They had to have had a promotional... I'm sure they filmed this entire ride with professional cameras in a promotional kind of way that they probably never released to the public as well. And this footage could have been married with the 3D film and presented in ultra-wide format. I don't know if anyone ever saw this ride. You had these huge, these robots. You can't see the scale of them. These things must have been 11 or 12 feet tall. I mean, they were massive from what I remember. The robots were awesome, and they had these super loud, you know, when they're firing those guns off, it's loud in there. You smell the powder, the black powder, whatever the heck it is, and it's very exciting. Now, here's where the film portion starts. You see that backdrop is actually a projection screen, and you have the real actors coming in. There she is. Such a friggin' great protagonist, Linda Hamilton. Holy smokes. I mean, that's not her, but Sarah Connor, the character of Sarah Connor. In all her portrayals, she was doing a very good job as well, this actress. You had a rotating cast on this show, just like all the Universal shows. Now look at the way reality interacts with the film. Did you see the screens take those bullets on? And then look at that, it just sort of melts, and this is where you say, uh-oh, something bad's taking place here. And the 3D effect on this is mind-blowing. This is what we cannot experience, everybody, right now. This isn't available anywhere in the world. You can't see this image in its true 3D, which it'll be popping out, blasting you in the face right there. And yeah, you had a bunch of real actors. But anyway, yeah, so they could have done a cool thing. I mean, I guess they really would have had to marry the footage with the yeah, these are some spoilers here now you're seeing. Blasting you in the face, Uzi, but the 3D, you wouldn't believe the effect. It would really get you. God, this got so cool. I don't know if you want me to keep playing it. I guess I could. I mean, this thing's closed in Florida too, or is it still open? Congratulations, Jesse. That sounds sick as hell. And here he is. Look at this guy. They have the motorcycle on a track. You know, they didn't want this guy really driving off stage or something probably, so they just hooked him to a track there. It's a funny effect. That's one of the parts of the show that's definitely dated. John Connor, cool actor. This is a cool effect here. Well, look, you can tell this is the last ride, okay? You kind of saw the curtain split back there, but this is a cool effect too in real life. And here's where the film begins. Now, this is the part starting here that I believe is actually directed by James Cameron. And this is all 3D. Well, it just starts there. So yeah, now we have more acting. Anyway, you get the idea, right? This is a wonderful experience. So, could I work this in as part of the presentation? And if I do, how? I really don't know how this is going to work out. Edward Furlong. I just realized the music is still playing in the background. Can you hear that? You must be getting, it must be driving you absolutely bonkers. Kind of shut that off. I could barely hear it and I went, oh my gosh, everyone must be going nuts. This is interesting. I'm reading Sarah Knight has some theories about Titanic, which I haven't really thought about. Cut this stream up into a presentation. Taco. What a novel idea that is. That could be interesting indeed, couldn't it? That would be a way, if we're almost doing the work now, Taco, and we cut it up and just sort of put some of these thoughts out there. Now look at this creature. I forget what this is called. I think it's called the T1 million, something cheesy like that. But the effect of this spider, liquid metal spider Terminator crawling around you. Now look, at this point the presentation is on 3 screens, okay? Left, center, right. You have 3 full-size movie screens. You see this camera panning around. Now look at this. The creature goes from one to the other seamlessly with 3D set piece in front of it. You see that column sort of hiding the seam of the screens. I mean, this show, you say, who cancels a show like this? Whoever cancels a show like this? But you know what? Time's advanced. They only have so much real estate. They had to get the minions in there, so I can't blame them for that. But look at this. Then the fog. Look at the fog. Is this where I got my love, my obsession for fog from this show? Maybe. I don't remember. I was pretty young when I used to go to this thing, and I loved it. Boom. Did you look at that? Takes a shot on the spider. So where were we? Someone Taco suggested chopping it up. I'm going to write that down in the notes. Chop up presentation, chop taco. That might be the winner right there. That may be the key. Because it's a difficult thing to try to think how you encompass so many different kind of lines of thought into one brief presentation. I don't want this thing to be long. I don't want to torture any allies. You know, I know how people are here. They're getting a little bit, maybe sensitive around Cameron stuff. We've had a deluge of Cameron coming in. Cameron content. Zen Max Gamer. Remember seeing this in Florida. So is this thing still open in Florida? Does anyone know? Spectron. We're looking at the T2 3D's final performance. This is on Inside Universal's YouTube channel, and they captured this footage as well. And this used to be a ride at Universal Studios. Now you see the blur there. I mean, the effect of that skull floating in the air is just absolutely stunning. And then it transforms into Arnold. Religious experience, basically. And these actors just killed it. These stage actors at Universal, Waterworld, formerly T2, all that stuff, had a 13-year run. Look at that. They don't get enough credit. These people should be superstars, just as big as Ben Affleck and etc. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, these actors that put on, and a lot of them are. I mean, a lot of them are actually credited actors that are actively working in the industry. You see that. They tell you their credits after. So you get a lot of big people coming in too, but you also get a lot of people that don't get the recognition for doing that kind of show 5 or 6 times a day. Holy smokes. So he did a lot of Terminator stuff. Huh? What is this? Look at all this Terminator stuff. Wow. So look at that. He just went on a Terminator kick for about a decade or two. I didn't realize that. He really didn't do a whole lot. I mean, Titanic, massive, right? But he just wrote that. Is that true? RoboCop versus the Terminator. Oh, man. Who remembers that? Who remembers that awesome game? Can you see this? Broshiro, that's a cool idea. End your presentation with a nod to what Sarah Connor says. Whoops. Copy. Will this work? Will it let me copy the text in there? I think it will. Oh, that makes it easier. I put that down, Broshiro. I'm going to consider that. That would be powerful, wouldn't it? Look at the footage of this game. This is a fun game from what I remember. I think I rented it as a little tiny kid, maybe. I have very, very vague memories of it. I think I remember the RoboCop game in the arcade for sure. I mean, it was an old game, but I was a little kid when I played it. True Lies had a game? I'm not sure. It's on SNES and Genesis? I love that, Jesse. That's a very great way of saying it. Yeah. No, I think it's a genius idea. Cutting up the stream is really a very elegant way to do this really multifaceted thing, I think. It will really get some of this across. That means we need to stick to an hour. We got to have a hard out at 12, because if I'm cutting this down into an hour of footage, it's going to take a minute. This is going to keep me busy this weekend. I want to make it good. And I got to find a way to work this fog machine in. I'm not kidding with that. RoboCop versus Terminator. Tip of the hat to that. True Lies SNES. Should we check it out? was on Mega Drive also. Oh no, here we go again, everyone. Here we go again. One of the best Genesis games? Ah, for crying out loud. Here we go again. They keep coming. They wait till you come back, don't they? Let's see what the heck this is all about. We can jump through this. We're probably going to get destroyed by ads, aren't we? Oh boy, there's going to be a lot of ads in here. I just want to see the Harrier sequence. I'm curious how they do that on SNES. The causeways, you know, here it is floating over the... Oh, wow, look at that. That kind of looks... Okay, this looks like it might be very sick. This might be very sick. Harry takes to the air in a do-or-die effort to stop the nuclear warheads from reaching the mainland. You have 4 minutes to destroy 4 trucks. Let's see how this looks. It's just a top-down shooter. Let's see if you can upgrade your pea shooter, or you just stuck with the pea shooter. This is why I want to see this movie so bad in 4K, because I'm saying the effects, obviously, when you're a little kid and you see this, are stunning. But do they hold up? It's hard to say unless you see it on 4K and you say, oh, wow, well, let's see what's happening here. So far, it doesn't look like you can upgrade your plane. Oh, it looks kind of brutally hard. You only have 8 lives left, Harry. Oh, well, at least you get to continue from there. That's pretty generous, actually. For a late level, I'd say that's real generous. This is, I should say, AL82 Retro Long Plays is whose channel this is here, in case you can't see that. Hopefully you see that now. AL82 Retro Gaming Long Plays. That's whose channel this is we're watching right now. Yeah, you saw it there. Okay, cool. It looks okay. This looks kind of fun. Like, I love the concept of this, of doing, oh, suddenly you do a top-down shooter in this game, but, you know, the simple pea shooter, I guess you do have rockets. We just saw one there. But, yeah, it definitely looks... I mean, this looks like something you'd come across on the NES. The graphics are a slight upgrade, but in terms of the gameplay complexity, this looks like a sort of like a NES top-down shooter. You'd expect something a little more out of the SNES, maybe. But it's neat they include it. I mean, shoot. I would be happy to play this. It looks fun. You're blowing up... There's one of the nuke trucks right there. Is that the last one? That might have been the last one there. The crazy complex Avatar animatronic, Taco? Are you talking about the one down at Disney World? I think I've seen that. Isla showed me that. Harry arrives in style for the final battle. This is spoilers, everyone. If you're sensitive to True Lies, the video game for the SNES, let me know. I'll actually stop it, because I don't want anyone getting spoiled here if they don't want to. The 3D of the jet is nice when it turns. Yeah, that turning animation, Thundercats ho, is pretty sick. They put a little extra effort into you seeing that. They didn't need to go that far to have that nice fluid animation there. Look at these guys with flamethrowers. I don't remember. Were there guys in the office building with flamethrowers in the end? They're probably taking a few liberties here at this point, I'd imagine. Boom. Bloom to smithereens. Holy smokes. Looks like some satisfying gunplay in this a little bit, doesn't it? So it's like a top-down shooter overall, but it's kind of cool. I mean, it looks like a pretty fun game. It has like kind of like a you know, zombies ate my neighbors kind of speed to it. Not too fast, kind of methodical movement. Yeah, a lighting effect. Now look at this. Taco's bringing up a lighting effect on Arnold's face. Let me see this. Yeah, you're right. Look at that. A nice little detail. That is the sort of stuff when you're saying this is the power of the SNES now that we're seeing. Holy smokes. Did you see how that guy burst into an absolute fountain of blood and guts when he was shot? That was a sick animation. So they got multiple death animations. They spent a little bit of cash on this game, didn't they? MXA Ghost just thought of maybe a concept of how we could incorporate the fog machine. Transitions that are a fog machine effect somehow. I love that. Thank you. This is cool. Everyone's coming together. I knew you would. How freaking sick is this presentation going to be? Thanks to all of us working together. It's amazing. I just put it in my notes. Fog machine transmission MXA. Ever played Loaded on the OG PS1? I haven't. I don't think I've heard of Loaded. Should we look that up? Loaded? Anybody else know about this game on PS1? Loaded was so good. Reserves notes about it. It's kind of like this game, a little top-down shooter. Should we check it out? What did you say it's for? A PS1. Let's check it out. Let's see. Long play of Loaded. This is long play archive that we're watching this on. Here we go again. Here we go again, everybody. Let's go back to something we can focus on that'll bring us peace. Peace of mind. Let's find a really good Cameron picture. All 238 photos. Holy smokes, he's got a lot. He's got a lot. Let's look at him here. He's happy. Can you imagine the happiness this man is feeling right now? Wow. Unreal. Oh, what's my favorite modern game? I have no idea. I don't have a favorite. I have tons of games I like every year that come out. I do like many modern games. Believe it or not. Could I do my presentation underwater? I could, but that's the kind of thing that would need months or maybe more to prepare for. That was the kind of thing that I'd be thinking of if I was, you know, gonna have time. I could really think of some elaborate stuff, but this is gonna have to be fairly straightforward, something we just bang together in a couple days and have it really still be pretty good. I could hang a framed portrait. Yeah, it would be neat to somehow conjure some kind of effigy up of James Cameron during the presentation. A hologram would be sick. Oh man, a little bust. How cool would it be if I go down to the pier? You got these artists down there on the Santa Monica Pier, and if you sit there and you give them money, they will sculpt your head, a bust of you essentially, that's quite accurate, and it's small like this. How sick would it be if I went down there, I presented them with a picture of Cameron, and I said, could you produce this for me? And during the presentation, we raised this little tiny bust up on a little pedestal with fog surrounding it. Now, we can't have real fog in the studio. It's been determined, okay? So we're not going to do that. But boy, it's a concept I like. That would require me being able to get down to Santa Monica. It's a lot of things that are involved in that, but I'm going to put it down just in case. Cameron bust on pedestal. That's just sort of a dream that maybe we'll pull that off another time. Maybe, I don't know if I can guarantee I can get that together quick enough. So this game looks intense. I haven't really been watching it that close. Hold on, let me pay attention to it a little bit. Look at these PS1 explosions. It is PS1 graphics, but it's actually got a fairly clean look. Like, it kind of holds up the art style of this particular game. You can definitely, it feels like PS1, but it has a nice look to it, believe it or not. Some PS1 games get quite unattractive to the eye over the years, but this one actually still looks cool. It's got a nice speed to it. This must feel good with a couple of, an analog stick. He's moving fast. Where is that T2 arm jar? What was that from? Retry the light blue Kool-Aid. You know what, Alex Dream, this may not be the time or place. That was one of my greatest failures in life. It was a humiliating thing, and to imagine having that happen to you live on a live stream in front of an audience of people you care about, and this concoction, this magic presentation, essentially, I wanted it to be a very exciting moment, and I stumbled there. So what could I say? At some point, maybe I'll try to take a swing to get that right. But you know what? I haven't actually, in my home experiments, I haven't been able to produce this color of Kool-Aid. Everything, all the information online is inaccurate in terms of producing a Caribbean blue, aqua sort of color Kool-Aid. It's a very difficult thing to do. There's got to be a flavor that's naturally that. In the research I've done, I haven't located it. Stream my presentation from an aquarium. That would be neat. That would be cool. From behind a fish tank. That'd be cool to frame it up from behind a fish tank, so you're looking through little kelp and fish to see me presenting something. In Future Man was an episode in James Cameron's Future House. Wow, what Future Man? Is that a show? This game's intense. This game is intense. It looks fun, but I don't know. If you've got some nostalgia for it, I'm sure it's pretty excellent. I would jump in this if I came across it. I'll keep my eyes out. If I find this thing and it's a good price, I'll pick it up now that I know about it. I'd like to try it. It seems like the movement feels very satisfying. I like the speed of it. It feels like a top-down 2D kind of Quake. It's moving kind of fast. There's a nice smoothness to it. So I would absolutely try this thing. I'm going to keep my eyes out for this. If I come across it, in the world and it's a fair price, I'm going to put some money down on this. I'm going to say, you know what, let's play loaded. My PS1, I got to pull that out of storage. I have a lot of hardware in storage right now. You know what I'm saying? I got to pull some of this stuff out. What's up, Threshold Kid? Thanks for checking it out, Gameplay Dismay. Yeah, thanks for tipping me off to it. Who actually someone else suggested I check that out. And I'm glad you did, because I have a terrible memory in terms of just hearing a name once. I got to hear it a couple times. So this is the man. Look at this crew of people he has, science expeditions, an absolute going into uncharted waters. This is a lot of, you got to be very serious to do something. It's one thing to talk about making a movie. You hear it's one of the highest pressure things you can do. But leading a crew to the depths of the ocean, spearheading that effort. Oh, there we go. Look at that mug. The dude's intense and he's awesome. That must be fun. Real life. Holy, he's got a joystick hooked up. Oh my God. Look at the flight stick he's got hooked up to this thing. Can you imagine? What's he operating there? Or is it projectiles of some sort? Or is he steering the craft? It seems like he's targeting something by the look in his eyes. It's a very intense gaze. It doesn't seem like he's navigating. It seems like he's zeroing in on something. So, I think we have some pretty good ideas so far. And then we got to all tie it up with what Linda Hamilton says at the end of T2. Now, what is that? Is the script available anywhere? Probably not, right? You got to pay for this thing. T2 screenplay. I'm sure you got to pay for something like this. The Internet Movie Script Database. Is this something I used to know about and forgot about? Terminator 2 Judgment Day. The script is right here. Holy smokes. This is awesome, too, because this is probably the script with all the cut scenes and everything. Look at this. Free access to this. Shout out to the Internet Movie Script Database. Wow. Internet Movie Script Database. This is sick as hell. The possibilities of the road being open like a dark highway at night. Yeah, it's a... Here's looking at you. She said, here's looking at you, kid. Shout out Carcosa TD. We're shouting out this Internet Script Movie Database. Internet Movie Script Database. There's a lot of text. What a wonderful screenplay. Can you imagine having written this thing? Now look at this. This may be different. This may be different from the final cut. Yeah, this is different. Oh, well, that's similar, isn't it? It doesn't say the luxury of hope was given to me by this Terminator. That line is there because if a machine can learn the value of human life, maybe we can too. That line, I'm pretty sure, was in there. I'm pretty sure that line was in there. Wait, what the heck? Is this real? Listen to this dated dialogue. It's funny. Wow. August 29th, 1997. So that was the original Judgment Day, which they changed. This is an interesting... This is an alternate ending. This is very cool. But isn't that true? If a machine can learn the value of human life, maybe we can too. Can a machine learn the value of human life? That's what we need to know. Xbox. What's my value? Anything? No answer. Guess we'll never know. Not for now. What's up, Riot Donkey? Welcome. We're putting together my presentation. I got to pay this bet off if you haven't been watching for too long yet. And we're coming up with ideas for my presentation, a James Cameron presentation that's going to be popping off next Tuesday night on the group stream. I got to pay this thing off. We've come up with a lot of good ideas so far. Please feel free to chime in if there's anything you want to check out. It doesn't have to be Cameron related. Depends on what your gamer score is, your value. That's an interesting thought, Thundercats. See, that's where it starts to get corrupted. The machines are already organizing people according to value. Awesome, Riot Donkey. Watch the thing. Yeah, you know, hey, what happens? Sometimes you lose bets. I take full responsibility for that. So I do want to have this presentation. We've had a nice ideas so far. So far, everyone's ideas are great. I'm getting a call. It's a scam. Can you imagine someone trying to scam me? That's really nuts. We looked over Terminator 2 3D, and the last thing we checked was a long play of Loaded. You know, Arcade 1-Up recently released the stand-up T2 gun game, Arcade 1-Up Light Gun T2. Whoops. Arcade 1-Up. Look at this thing. This is someone's arcade. Let's see. I actually want to see. Here we go. Let's look at this product. The CC info, a lot more than that, Riot Donkey. We're talking about coordinates, okay? Longitude and latitude. Track them down. Look at this thing. Anybody remember this? I mean, classic memories of the arcade in the 90s. You would have seen this machine there. And it was a fun light gun game. This is being offered by Arcade 1-Up. There you see some of the graphics. Game features. I wonder, will this get cropped weird for you? Look at these guys having fun, huh? Oh yeah, it's a little bit cropped weird, isn't it? The thing about this game and being an arcade one-up, now look at the scale of it, okay? This is, I forget what it is, 3/4 scale, I believe. So it's a lot smaller than the actual arcade cabinet. And if you look at those guns in their hands, they actually are pretty tiny. They're kind of like this. So it may feel a little awkward to play, especially when you're moving around a little. You know, maybe the cabinet starts to shake. But it's a nice effort they made to bring this thing back. I mean, it looks sharp as hell. You got to buy the riser. This is important. This thing right here is going to cost you, I don't know how much. Anywhere they charge different prices depending on the game, but it could be up to $150 extra just for the riser. But it's essential, because if you don't have the riser, especially on a game like this thing's really tiny. You're going to be holding the thing. You're going to be breaking your back at this thing trying to bend down and look at it. Even with the riser, it's not going to be as tall as the arcade game you may have remembered. But I believe it's emulating. Yeah, no, it's definitely not the original hardware for sure. It's all emulation. But some of the emulation on this stuff is absolutely perfect, pretty much. If I could have any one arcade machine in your home, what would it be? It's a good question. It's a good question. If it was just a dream that's not based in reality, it would probably be pinball, you know, because I don't really have the space for pinball machines, and they're pricey and a lot of maintenance. It's a whole lifestyle you got to really commit to. But I would commit to, if I had a little more space, which I maybe one day I will, but I'll have at least one or two pinball. I mean, can you imagine having a pinball game? That'd be fun. When I was a kid, actually, we had pinball machine. Yeah, my dad got us one when I was a little kid, and it was awesome. But this thing goes down. I mean, a rubber here and a pop bumper there, a drop target here, and every week it felt like we're kind of. And that's part of the fun of it. It's the maintenance. You know, you really got to love that. But some of the stuff you really got to know what you're doing too, because you can get zapped to high hell. You can get electrocuted by those things if you're not careful. But, you know, I'm very lucky, actually, because right now we have several arcades in Los Angeles that are really, really good. They're not the Dave and Buster thing. They're really cool arcades, well-maintained pinball machines, 80s, 90s, 2000s arcade games. They've even got, you know, other stuff, air hockey, this and that. So it's like some pretty dang decent arcades in the local. So I'm pretty lucky that way, that I do have access to a lot of things that I'd like. Maybe later. Arcade 1-Up is doing cool things, though. They have a lot of cool little replicades, they call these. I think they're 3/4 scale machines. They have so many. Then they do a bunch of cocktail tables, too, which are the ones you sit down at. They have some pretty nice Street Fighter ones also, actually, that they've released recently. Just announced. I think they have. Yeah, look at some of these Street Fighter cabinets. They have Killer Instinct. I had that pre-ordered last year, the Killer Instinct 1-Up cabinet, and I had to cancel the pre-order for reasons I don't want to get into, but it's just a sick cabinet. Killer Instinct in the arcade, Killer Instinct 2, both of those, and this cabinet actually has both. So cool. But look at this. The Yoga Flame edition of Street Fighter 2 is pretty sick. That's the only thing, though. So see what I'm saying? It's a little bit tiny. You see how they're kind of a little bit bending down, and that's with the riser. So take a look at how tiny that thing would be without the riser. You'd literally be like, bending down. It'd be awkward. Alex Dream played a kaiju-themed pinball machine recently, a kaiju one. I'm trying to think. I mean, they have Godzilla. They've got a couple Godzillas, but I wonder what this machine is you're thinking of. Nothing pops into my mind, kaiju pinball, other than Godzilla. There's quite a few, like, aliens-type themed games. Waltz Bar and Eagle Rock. They have so many pinball machines. This might have been a place I hear of. It's a little bit further from me than most places. Snug mode, but I'll check this out. Waltz Bar and Eagle Rock. I'm actually going to put this in my notes. I'm going to put this in my notes because I want to remember this. Um, Yeah, the exactly. The pinball machines require a lot of maintenance. I mean, arcade machines kind of do as well, but not like pinball. The biggest problem you have with an arcade machine is that you get quarter jams and weird stuff like that. But you know, the other stuff goes down, especially a light gun game that's going to need a maintenance. I worked at an arcade, believe it or not. A great job. Right out of college, my last year of college and coming out of college, I worked in an arcade. Can you imagine me working at an arcade? What a dream. I sometimes forget that happened. But so I know a little bit about fixing some of the machines, this and that. Thundercats. Oh, Gigabash just came out. That's today, isn't it? Oh man, I have pretty high hopes for that game. I know it'll be fun. I'm hoping it's like lasting fun. If there's a little good amount of depth to the combat, if you can interact with a lot of these objects maybe in the city, this game could be awesome. I have it on my fantasy critic league, so I'm hoping it's really good. Riot Donkey. Now, my parents used to have a casino-themed pinball machine from the 50s or 60s. That's old. That's a mechanical. That means you're talking about before computers, so it's all mechanical, and those are really a lot of maintenance. Got it at a charity auction. Was great while it worked, but unfortunately, even having it serviced a couple of times, it would keep breaking down. Posted it online and had a collector over within the hour. Yeah, no, something from the 50s and 60s. That's a real showpiece if you even have it maintained, not functioning, because that's when they had it all mechanical, the scoring mechanical and everything. They slowly started introducing different sort of computerized aspects to the pinball machines, including, you know, the score counters were one of the first things that became computerized. But a 50s or 60s machine, it was, you open up one of the backs of these things and it's just like, whoa, all these mechanical wheels and dials and stuff. It's like insane. It looks like a typewriter or something. It's just super cool. But that was like, you know, I don't even know if they had ramps yet back in the 50s and 60s. Giantatis inherited a Superman pinball machine, but it doesn't work, and I have no idea how to go about getting it fixed. You basically, there's a few places across the country, depending where you are, you got to get it shipped. You have to ship it. They ship pinball machines. It's not cheap, but it'll probably cost you maybe $200 or $300 to ship it to one of these repair shops. Depending where you are on the East Coast or West Coast, you know, there's a few in Los Angeles. There's a big one near Philly called TNT Amusements, which is really seems like they're probably the best in the country. And you just got to get it shipped and get it fixed if it has any major problems. If you're nearby one of these shops, they can send someone to service it at your house usually if it doesn't need a whole makeover. But you have to be near one of these shops, like, you know, within sometimes I think they'll drive within a few hours. So even if, you know, you're in Central California and, you know, maybe somewhere, you can still get places coming to you. But most big cities have at least one pinball repair shop. Um, yep. So what time? 11:55. We're wrapping this up. I'm going to cut down this presentation. I think that should work as a nice little thing that'll bring it all together. I appreciate everyone's inputs. We have the 3DS concept. I don't know if I'll be able to bring that into this. Fog machine. We'll see about transitions. Avatar 5, I mean, we talked about it, so it's going to be in there. And Sarah Connor, the script thing. Yeah, so we're going to try to work all these things in there. I hope you enjoy the show. Thank you for helping me put it together. This was a lot of fun. I feel great now. I feel a little more confident. I came into this thing having no idea what the heck was going to happen. Now I'm feeling pretty good. Dozens from all eras with various famous music artists featured. What are you talking about, Jesse? The Pinball Hall of Fame? Hall of Fame in Cleveland. Oh, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Pinball machines was one of my favorite. Oh, they had, yeah, all over time, and they're still doing it now. I mean, they just have a new Guns N' Roses machine, which is actually really good. Bands, music, and pinball have always had this nice relationship where they've made a lot of fabulous pinball machines that are themed around music acts. I mean, Elton John, everyone has had one, and all the big artists. And it's often awesome because the soundtracks are killer. The soundtracks on these machines are usually pretty cool. It's funny, I'm not even a fan of, who is it I was playing the other day? I was just at an arcade. I think they had a Rush machine. I'm not a particular fan of Rush, but the pinball machine was actually very fun, and that one was loaded with ramps coming up both sides, kind of symmetrical ramps. It was sick as hell. Really fun gameplay, and the music was fine. It was enjoyable, you know. Later reserved, thanks for joining. Thank you, everyone. MC, M. Cullick, McCulloch, Riot Donkey, everyone that helped out today or just watched along. I appreciate you being here. This is rad. So we still got a couple minutes. We'll go straight to noon. I don't want to cut you off too early. I got a bunch of stuff I'm going to cut after this, which I'm pretty excited about. Actually, some cool things are being done here behind the scenes, Easy Allies. And we got some pretty neat content, I think, that we haven't really announced yet that people are working on. That'll be coming out this fall and etc. in the next few months, rolling this stuff out. So we've been quite busy, believe it or not. And it's good things are going on. Could be funny if you started the presentation as the stream cold, but then cut to you getting the ideas, then have cuts with the person's name who gave the idea, then continue to improve the presentation with the ideas like the smoke effects, etc. Suns versus the moon is saying. This is interesting. I think I follow what you're saying, but you're saying I'm still doing a presentation in real life and interacting with the video. No, then cut to as the stream. Okay, just the stream cold. Then getting the ideas and then have the cuts to the person's names and then continue to prove the impression. Yeah. We'll have to find exactly. I love it, Suns vs. Moon. I'll have to find a whole kind of flow to how we cut this thing down. You got room for these arcades, Don? Yeah, I have a very tiny compact arcade at home, believe it or not, and I do have a couple of great games, but I don't have any room for pinball. I can't squeeze any in. I had some of my arcades in storage for a long time. I recently took them out, and I said, holy smokes, I could fit this stuff. But not just the video, Suns versus the Moon. Yeah, no, totally. I think that's good thinking. We got to end the presentation with James Cameron here. Hold on. Let's find our way back to Cameron so we remember what brought us here. There he is. Look at that. Oh, there he is. Nice shots. Oh, no. All kinds of advertising is popping in here. Look at that old PC. There he is. Arnold. Oh, look at that with, what's his name? Desperado, I believe. Yeah, Robert Rodriguez. Oh, Battle Angel. Oh, God. Oh, no, we better end the stream. I forgot about Battle Angel. Holy smokes. We don't want to go down that road. We do not want to go down this road. Vibro Tramp. Wave Race 2065, one of the best things I've ever seen. Thanks for that compliment. That's sick as hell. I appreciate that. That means a lot, actually. I put a little love into it, and I think it'd be an awesome concept, honestly, to open up the next Wave Race. I was very serious in that presentation, I think. I think that could be a cool place to take, a cool direction to take it in. Adding something about Titanic. He put way too much effort into researching that ship crash to not be mentioned. Ashes mentions they were AFK, but they did mention the Titanic. He put way much into researching that ship crash. Yeah, no, the authenticity of the film Titanic is just stunning. I mean, it's easy to forget now unless you watch one of the making ofs, documentaries. It's easy to forget what went into that movie as a historical kind of documentation, a living documentation, not just as a narrative, piece. That's really what it stood on. I think when they released it, that's what it was marketed as. It was like this stunning reality-based recreation. This was not someone taking a bunch of creative license. This was someone absolutely meticulously recreating this ship and filming it in a way that was, truly put you into that situation. So whether or not you can deal with the melodrama or you appreciate that aspect of it, it's at least pretty impressive, isn't it? The science has been updated since then. Some science. What science has been updated? Thanks, everybody. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for getting involved. Thanks for the love. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Stick around or come back in a little while, actually. You know, maybe go get something to eat or something. But in a little while, I believe Isla is going to be on the community showcase. I don't know. Is that happening today? I think so. We've got other things going on today. Tonight, behind the scenes, patrons can join us as we film the podcast live, see all the, you know, unedited action and everything. That's always exciting. Join us there. We'll be getting that thing up as soon as we can. Other than that, I wish you all a beautiful afternoon or morning or night, wherever you may be. I'm looking forward to seeing you next. Looking forward to this James Cameron presentation that we've all put together here today. Okay, everyone? All right. Take it easy out there. I will see you. I got to put up the crazy music again. Here it comes. I don't even have to shave.